It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a tie. Back, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Red 260 Pittsburgh. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
On first down, Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Noah Brown, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. From the gun, it's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Under 10. Under 10.
The first carry for the North Texas man, it's Jeff Wilson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Second and 11. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Set hot. Check 99. Check 99. You go tight. You got tight. You got pilot. 64. Weak. Check play ball. Hatchet. Hatchet. Ready, ready. Ready.
They'll try and run for it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
At their 49-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now a give, right side. It's Taylor, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 34. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He may try and run for this. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 21.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit.
at the 16-yard line.
Here we go. Get set. Get your running. Get your running. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his 19th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Matt Judon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on third. Back to throw. Love. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. 8 yards on the screen there. Not enough. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. These two teams all tied after 1. So the Cowboys will punt it on 4th down. As on is the veteran Chris Jones to kick it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Taylor. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Taylor. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he gets it down to the 32.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Baltimore.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Pilot, 64, weak.
They'll run with Taylor. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
54. Let's go one more. Rush in.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Ajayi. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run with Irvin. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback and expected that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .158 left to play till we hit halftime. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tavecchio to add the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing on second down. Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Oh.
They run with Ajayi. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Got a man. It's Brown. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 14. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And Tucker, the former Longhorn, puts this one through. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They run with Taylor. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
From the gun, Jackson. And an alley to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 43. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. This is Ajayi. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Dancing to his left. He's got a first down and much more. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Cowboys have recovered.
Well, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play. But prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. They go with Irvin to start the drive. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Check three.
2nd down, this is Wilson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
It's easy work and it's coming.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. Dog. Check. Hey.
On 3rd and short, Irvin. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as
and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10.
Throwing on 1st down. Love. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. The 2nd down carry for Irvin. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
3rd and 2.
Ready, break. 51's mine. Army. Right here. Ready.
On 3rd and 2, Love. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Jackson now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeMarcus Lawrence, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Let's go. You tighten up.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And he's going to go down again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Come to my world. 51 Mike. Mike 51. All day, baby. All day. And go.
Throwing again. Love. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, 81 yards. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Check 4. He's coming.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Now it's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Right back to Irvin. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
Looking to throw. Love. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The give to Taylor. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And going deep for Hill. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Wilson's got it complete. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jeff Wilson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson gets this one to Hill. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Here's Jackson to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Irvin. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people...
And the ball is knocked out.
Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the